Hey guys, well, first of all, let me be clear that I am not going to stop the training program. I'm going to keep going. But other than that, today I made a video in which I said how stupid it is what Samara Weaving suggested like 2 years ago. Stopping the training program just 1 week before the meeting with the organization and repeating that process several times, and for what reason? To have sex with her feet. Doing a stupid thing for a stupid reason. Well, in addition to what I said in that video, I have just recalled that a while ago in a video game that I play, online video game in World of Warcraft on a private server, someone suggested doing 1300 as a challenge mode. Yeah, well, let me tell you what I think about that. First of all, 1300 means repeating that process of quitting 1 week before the meeting with the organization for over 3.5 years, and actually closer to 4 years. This means being tortured by the creature for another 4 years, delaying my freedom for another 4 years, delaying my justice for another 4 years, and delaying the compensation of money for 4 years. As a matter of fact, delaying any reception of money at all, either compensation or support or reward, for another 4 years, and sitting for another 4 years with barely enough money for food. And that's supposed to be the fucking challenge mode. And you know what's interesting about it is that the training is not challenging, because if your plan is good, if your method is good, and your tools, your equipment, your plan, your execution of the plan, if everything is just right and you're not rushing with the weights, you're patient with the weights so you don't make your workouts harder than they actually should be, the workouts are not challenging. They're not necessarily easy, but they're not necessarily challenging. Or they're simply not challenging. So it's not a challenge mode, it's a suffering mode. So it's not about a challenge, it's about masochism. Do you know what is a masochism? Is seeking one's own suffering. Suffering from the creature, suffering from the fake neighbors who come to try to disturb my brain with sounds, and suffering from sitting for another 4 years without money. It's another form of suffering, because not having money, it's a bad situation. Not to mention that I owe more than 1,000 shekels to my mother. My balance, you could call it even negative. It's not like challenge mode in World of Warcraft, where there is a more difficult version of a specific dungeon where you must be very good at playing the game and your character, and you must use your skills in a calculated manner in order to pass the dungeon, and even more to pass it within a certain amount of time, doing a speed run. That's a challenge because it requires skill. Suffering here for 4 more years requires absolutely no skill at all. It requires self-hatred and lack of self-love. In other words, it requires being a complete idiot. Like I said, the training program is not challenging. There is no challenge, there is no skill here. There is no some sort of use of intellect, of talent, of ability. There is none of that. No challenge, only suffering. Suffering that has no challenge in it, just pure suffering. So it's not challenge mode, it's masochism mode, and I am not a masochist. I don't enjoy suffering. I love life and I love enjoying life. I want to enjoy life to its fullest. I'm the opposite of a masochist. I'm a hedonist. Do you know what a hedonist is? It's a person who wants to enjoy life as much as possible, and that's what I am. I seek pleasure. I seek enjoyment. There is no way I am going to delay the meeting with the organization just to prove that I am able to withstand 4 years more of suffering. It's not a show of skill of any sort. That there is nothing to prove by being a punching bag, and yes, a punching bag without money for 4 more years. It's not a show of skill. It's a show of stupidity. It's not a challenge. It's just suffering without challenge. I am not doing that stupid shit. I am not delaying the meeting with the organization even by 1 second, let alone stopping my fucking training program. You expect me to stop my training program, to deliberately halt or delay my fucking progression in my training program for what? To suffer more for no fucking reason? I am not an idiot. It's not challenge mode, it's suffering mode, it's masochism mode. That's not me.